I'm at home all by myself, and
Judging by the EMF meter, I'm guessing you think there's a ghost in the house. Go on.
hold on a second, give me a second. And let me open the door. Heard some noise in the living room.
And you jump to the conclusions that it might be a ghost straight away instead of looking into other physical factors like fluctuation in temperature, etc. Because fluctuation in temperatures causes wood in buildings to expand and contract, etc. But go on, enlightening us, Cecil.
So I discharged my weapon and I loaded a round into the chamber.
My bad. So it's an intruder ghost then. I load a round into the chamber of the gun that's in the police station, but we'll just skim past that. Grab your gun and grab your EMF meter. The first two fucking things. You're armed to the teeth, Cecil. Go in there and get them.
And I secured my house. But once I got to the living room, I heard a knocking sound right there where the plants are.
Maybe the ghost likes plants. Or maybe it's a gardener ghost.
And over there next to the closet. And I heard a tap right there and then a tap right there.
Furthermore, jumping into the paranormal conclusion is not a good thing to do. You need to eliminate the logical things first, and then the last thing you need to jump to a conclusion is that it's paranormal. Is there a fluctuation of temperature in the house? Is there animals in the house that disturb things in the house? All these things, you know? But people just jump into the paranormal straight away. I don't know if he's wanting to make out that his house is haunted because he's stuck for content, and that's what a lot of ghost hunters do. If their channel goes stale, all of a sudden their house is haunted, so they have loads and loads of content because they don't even have to leave their house. I get taps in my house on a regular basis, but I'm not going to jump straight into using an EMF detector. What's that going to do in a house with electronic devices around and stuff? Why why do why do these ghost hunters jump straight into the conclusion that it might be paranormal, so let's grab our EMF detector? There's other things that you could have grabbed instead of an EMF detector, like a camera or a audio recorder of some kind. When I mention fluctuation in temperature, temperature changes can cause wood in a building to expand and contract. These expansions and contractions can cause bangs and creaks and all sorts of things. If there is not enough of a gap in floorboards and that's what happens as well. When somebody walks across on a floor, sometimes when you put weight on the floor, it may not come back to its original position for some time afterwards, and that can cause a bang as well. There's lots and lots of factors in a physical form that you have to look into before you can jump to the conclusion that a bang or a tap or whatever is some way paranormal. It can be, but you have to eliminate all these other factors first. An example is I have a room in the house where there's a balcony and that, and all of a sudden the weather has changed to sub-zero temperatures. Now, during the day and at night time, I have the heat on and things like that. But when I go to bed, I leave the door to the balcony open because I don't have a dog flap. And when I wake up in the morning, the room is freezing. But before that, the room was warm because I'm in it during the day and I have the heat on, and yeah, I have to get a dog flap. But what is happening there is a sudden change in temperature, and I'm getting bangs and taps and all sorts of things in this particular room. This is a building that is basically a wood frame, so I'm basically in a wooden box. So that during the daytime hours when I have the heat on, the heat will expand the wood. When at night time, when I open the door and let all the sudden cold air come in, that wood is going to contract, causing clicks and bangs and all sorts of things. Yes, but that EMF detector isn't going to give you any more information than you've already got, because you've got EMF readings all over your house. You've got more EMF readings than I have on my house, and I have high power lines running alongside my house. You may want to look into that, but an EMF detector records EMF. Where is a great source of EMF? Inside your house. You're better off just having a camera and some sort of audio recording device and record everything. Walk away, record everything. You may have hours and hours of footage, and then go back and go through every bit of footage. But Cecil's probably too lazy to do things like that. That's what paranormal investigators do. I've worked with a team in that, and there's hours and hours and hours of voice recorders that have to be gone through, and it may take a week. But that's what we do to get our evidence and stuff. This why have an EMF detector? You've EMF readings all over your house. Spikes in EMF. You're going to be confused. Is the spike caused by some sort of spiritual activity, or is it something electronic in your house? If you're going to do EMF readings in your house, turn off the power in your house. That would eliminate the contamination in your house. Cecil's not the only one that does this. A lot of other people do that too. But household appliances put off an awful lot of EMF. A plasma television, a flat screen television, can project EMF up to a quarter of a mile.
Spirits. If you're over there in the corner, come over here and touch this ghost meter.
And how are you going to figure out if the ghost touches the ghost meter or not? By a spike in EMF? You are in a house, you're going to get spikes in EMF. So how do you figure out the difference between EMF that's been caused in your house and a ghost eye? What's happening there is you're adding complication. You're adding questions rather than finding answers.
The cat was looking around. Hold on a second, guys.
Cats do look around, but what's happening there is Cecil is trying to jump to a conclusion here, and the behaviour of the cat, he's making an assumption that the cat is looking at something paranormal. Now, cats are very sensitive. Cats and animals are very sensitive, and most likely can see a lot more than we can in our limited visual sense. But he is jumping to it straight away. You need to observe the animals in the house over time. not just jump straight into a conclusion. But Cecil here has jumped into a conclusion, so he's making an assumption that there's something paranormal in his house.
There's a spirit in this apartment. Come and let me know by touching this ghost meter in my left hand, please.
In that situation, asking that question, you would have been better off with a voice recorder in your hand rather than that EMF detector, because that EMF detector is going to tell you absolutely nothing.
Knock on the wall. Oh. Can you do that again? Can you touch this again, spirits?
Again, how do you find the difference between a fluctuation caused by an electronic piece of equipment in the house and an actual ghost or spirit? It's not going to give you an answer. You know, if you're asking questions and it's responding with spikes over and over again, yes, you could possibly say that it's possibly something paranormal. But then again, you're in an environment that is polluted with EMF already in the area. You know, you're better off when you go into a situation like that and turn off all the power and then measure the EMF rather than measuring the EMF in a house that already has the power, if you know what I mean. Because you're eliminating one physical source of EMF. You need to eliminate those sources before you can make a measurement, a proper measurement, when it comes to the paranormal. Again, I would rather use an audio device and ask questions rather than using an EMF detector, because it just adds more questions to the thing rather than finding answers, if you know what I mean.
Is there a spirit by this door? Can you walk up the steps and touch this ghost meter?
I think the paranormal community on YouTube is influenced too much by TV shows. I could have done hundreds of videos similar to that and it still wouldn't give you any answers at all. Cecil has CCTV, which would be a better tool in that situation than walking around with an EMF detector in a house full of EMF. On average, he's getting 3 milligauss throughout his house, and then when it spikes, when it goes over the thresholds of 3 milligauss, the alarm goes off and stuff. Yes, it's a good, it's a very flimsy recorder, EMF meter. And I have one myself. I have one with all the stupid modes and stuff. But you're only going to get measurements to 5 milligauss. You're better off, with also having a digital EMF meter of some kind. Have one and then have another one backing it up, basically. But EMF, people rely too much on EMF. especially in buildings and houses and stuff, which produce a lot of EMF, which is actually contaminating the environment already. You know, you, as I said, you need to turn the power off and then go through and do your EMF readings there. But he has the tools. He's got CCTV and he's got audio recording equipment. The audio recorder isn't brilliant. I have one myself. But, you know, you could record while you're not at home. And, you know, CCTV the whole flipping place when you're not at home. And then go through all the footage. But a lot of people are just too lazy to go through hours and hours of footage, you know. But that's the way things are, you know. A lot of people are influenced by these TV shows, and they reenact what they see on a TV show. Some will go through a lot of research behind the scenes and stuff. Even a TV show, you know, that's kind of middling honest, would go through a lot of footage, and it would take weeks for them to actually produce the program. A lot of people that are influenced by the TV shows want to do it all in one clean sweep, and it doesn't work like that. But Cecil has had an audio recording when he was cleaning his gun, and he got an EVP, yes, and he didn't follow it up, and I don't understand why. Because if I got an EVP like that in my house, I would be following it up over and over and over again. Do the same experiment over and over again, and see what results you can get in the line of EVPs and stuff. I don't understand it, but yeah, I'm not giving Cecil too much of a hard time, because a lot of people do the same thing here. But are we going to see an influx of, yeah, my house is haunted, guys, and jumping to conclusions and stuff? I don't know. This is why I don't look at most paranormal content on YouTube anymore, because you have these teams, and yes, they make mistakes starting out and that, but some of them don't learn and learn from mistakes and progress past jumping to conclusions. I've done it myself when I started out. I'm embarrassed about it, but I learned over time, and then I done some research. You know, I didn't just look at flipping TV shows and try to reenact those. Maybe I had some sort of an influence in the beginning and stuff. And then I found out sort of the truth. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, audio and visuals is the two important things. When it comes to, you know, flashy balls, vibration, all that kind of thing. Vibration's not going to work in an apartment like that when if there's somebody's living downstairs or whatever. You know, I call those the flashy light devices. Yes, they're good at trigger tools and stuff, but they don't give you the fundamental answer. Yes, you can use them. It doesn't give you the fundamental answer, though. The fundamental answer is going to come from audio and visuals. So I would use those. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've spent enough time on this one. See you next time. Bye.